So this video is more of a question actually. Why bother with sacred travel? Sacred missions and expeditions is my tagline for everything, the pathway for transformation as far as I'm concerned. But let's face it, sacred missions and expeditions can come into all sorts of parts of your life, but we automatically think straight away to sacred travel, transformational tours. So, of course, I'm going to start talking now about the Tablets of Light tour in Egypt, which is a massive divine offering that I've put together as one of my conscious creations for a really, really big purpose. So are you a conscious creator, like a creative? Are you someone who wants to be a conscious creator? Do you feel that you've already been on your spiritual path for a while and you're looking for that next kind of big bang, as it were, to expand you, propel you onto the next level? It's a kind of like go big or go home vibe. If you've got like a bit of an itch you can't scratch, that antsy feeling where workshops and courses just aren't doing it for you anymore. The one way to blow the dust out of the corners, out of plain sight, is to go on a spiritual tour. Okay, because first of all, you have to have a resonance with where you're going. But we're talking Egypt right now. So if you are one of those, you're one of my people that are basically like me, so connected to Egypt, keep listening, because I'm going to start breaking down the benefits of going to Egypt and what you can get out of it after you've been to such a tour, because it's really important now. We are going through massive upgrading in the world. We're going through massive upgrades within ourselves. By the end of this year, it's donezo. It's done. So now we're going to be looking around, because doing that course online is just not going to cut it. You're going to feel more freedom, expansion in yourself, more aligned to connect with the real essence of you, which is sitting in sacred sites, portals which are in and around the world. Egypt is a big one. There are so many people traveling to Egypt right now. There are so many transformational tours there, but they're not just tours. They are, certain space holders like myself. We hold certain frequency and codes to achieve specific things. We've left stuff in Egypt that we need to go back and collect, which is essential for our transformation. So when you go to Egypt, I'm going to share with you my experiences, okay? So when I went to Egypt, obviously it was a calling. I turned up, I went there. I saw a lot of my shadow self, but I equally experienced a lot of my light self. And what I achieved in Egypt by working with the temples and really putting my feet on the land, what I achieved would never have been gained just sitting on the sidelines like here. Not at all. It was a real big commitment to go there, but I've got a big mission. So if this resonates with you and you feel that you're one of those people, even if you're not consciously got any creations going on out there, like you're already facilitating or teaching or whatever, it doesn't matter. It is a level of you that you can feel is bursting to expand. So when we feel like that and you go to Egypt and you place your hands on the temples and you come with Marie, who brings through all sorts of channels and activations, I know exactly what you need, and so does Egypt. So we co-create in bringing these frequencies through and activating and bringing online that which you're seeking for, which is basically your gifts and abilities. Your vision's going to come online even more. And it doesn't matter whether you are actually working in the spiritual realms or not. You could be a creative, in a certain corporate company, and you are there to be the light, and you need to expand. It's so versatile when it comes to transformation, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you're expressing it in the world. We're all moving that way, and we're all basically doing it in the highest vibrations. So Egypt can give you whatever it is that you need and you require. So with Egypt right now, it is very much up front and center. Everyone, and funny enough, February, March is the peak of sacred travel, and it goes all the way beyond now. Because not just Egypt, you're going to see certain power points of the world. Mexico is huge right now, Peru, but of course I'm talking Egypt. Egypt is one of those big lights, because there's a lot of energy and frequency that is now calling you to come and connect with, because you signed up to remember. And whatever you need to remember is going to then transcend into or rather embody into what you came here to do, to share with the world. And that might be millions of different things. But with Egypt, Egypt is just gold. It's pure gold. And I mean that on every single level. So the Tablets of Light tour has gone through a massive transformation because I went through this huge upgrade and transformation 2 weeks in bed. At the same time, the idea and the vision of the Tablets of Light tour also expanded. And what was very, very clear is I had to move the dates for good reasons. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of a backstory as to how much magic is in the air. And if you are feeling a calling and resonance with Egypt, for good reason. So for me to move a whole tour date, now that's for good reason. So it was sitting in March the 30th was our original date, 2023. So I have been getting so much channel, so much upgrade. And then it was made very clear to me that the date needed to be moved. And I didn't know what date, but I did know that I kept seeing the number 7. Now, 7 means magic, transformation. And we all know that Marie's about magic and medicine because she works with the Heka codes, which is powerful Egyptian frequency to help us tap into our conscious creation energy, right? So 7 is like flashing at me. So I'm like, okay, I hear you. So eventually I was sat down and I was like, right, okay, tell me what needs to happen. It's like the date needs to change. And I was like, okay. So I followed the spiritual breadcrumbs and I went with the guidance. And the only date that I could change the tour to that was available, get this is where the magic comes in, was the 27th of April. And the tour ends on the 7th of May 2023. So the big date change was only from March to April, only 4 weeks. But I mean, what could be so important that, you know, the channel and the guides wanted me to just move it just a little bit? You know what I mean? So there is definitely much magic which has come online, and you can probably feel it in your being because maybe you're itching to get to Egypt and you just don't know where, why, how. It's because of this. So that was the upgrade. I had to go through the upgrade to be able to receive the message and actually spring into action and change the dates. But the tour, Tablets of Light tour, as I call her, she's got her own energy and frequency going on and she resonates with a certain vibration. So people are just attracted to her, specifically her and specifically Egypt. So that is what 2023 is looking like. And sacred travel is going to be up front and center because as we've expanded now, we are now more in touch with our abundance codes. We are more in touch with our purpose. We are more in touch with who we are. So now, if Egypt is calling to you, we definitely need to have a conversation because it's been made very, very clear to me that there are a specific bunch of soul fam, like the last tour, that are ordained to come with me. It's an agreement. It's in the stars. And that's exactly how the last tour unfolded. So what I'm going to do in videos to come, because it's just fun, I'm going to be sharing how you can work with the temples, specifically the tablets of light temples, because each temple has a frequency. Each temple has medicine, as far as I feel it, and they are all keys to unlocking this divine wisdom and magic you have within you. So like I was saying, what can you expect from going on sacred travel, sacred mission and expedition with Marie? Basically, when you go through the Tablets of Light tour, you go to these temples, you receive guidance, you receive healing, and it just unlocks. Only when you get back into your homestead, as it were, is when you will see the full potency of what Egypt can do for you. And if you want to see a full example of that, it sits right here. Because when I went to Egypt, I was tiny, very inadequate. So inadequate, I could barely breathe because I didn't want to offend anybody. Do you know what I mean? That's how I was rolling. And then I went back again and again and again. And what she did for me, and I call her a she, could be a, what Egypt did for me is unpack, unlock. And here I stand now, bringing people to Egypt. So this is what Egypt brought for like my purpose online. It's going to happen exactly the same for you as well. So even though it's very up there and kind of like spiritual and energy and all the rest of it, it's very, very grounded as well, because it's about your life. It's about how you've come here to live in this lifetime. Did you agree to do it in poverty? Nope. Did you agree to do it in abundantly? Yes, you did. Did you agree to do it with all of your senses closed and your gifts and abilities? No, you didn't. You came to live in this life expanded, in your heart, not in your head. So whatever that means to you, that is what the Tablets of Light is all about. So it's very expansive in its medicine and in its offerings. And of course, it's a five-star tour, which is basically it's granting you and gifting you the luxury that you deserve. Because when are we going to start choosing more for ourselves? You know, it's like I have done so many sacred tours and missions and expeditions, and I've slept under a bush in a cave or whatever. There was this like kind of like suffering that had to come with being on a pilgrimage. Well, after my 5 million ways of doing that, I kind of was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. I'm kind of tired. I want a nice comfy bed and I want to be treated like a goddess. Thank you very much. And I'm bringing sexy back, man. So this is the Tablets of Light tour. So anyway, it's all about 2023 and beyond. It's happening, guys. You're being called to certain places, and Egypt is a big one for many, many people. So if Egypt is calling you, I encourage you to dive on a no-cost Zoom call. Let's chat. We need to talk because the energy, the frequency, it's moving. Hence the date change. Just to remind you, it's now the 27th of April until the 7th of May. So get in touch if it resonates. Let's anchor some codes and let's go to Egypt, man. Let's go to Egypt. So thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Peace.